Hello everyone and welcome to the 5th round of the URL-GT3 Championship. We are at Oschersleben in Germany and the qualifying session was held in damp conditions. Peter Bacchus took the pole with 1/10 in front of Mikko Korkiakoski in the Mosler. In third was Sten-Mikkel Olsen, already a half a second behind them. Then it was Santiago Carao, Klisch, Ukic and Joubert in the 1:29s, and Alex Scott, Alex Fennell, Dubravko Bresancic, Fabio Bartolai in the 1:30s. Sandro Donadel did a 1:32.2 to round up the qualifying session. Florian Kutz and Maglio Liguori didn't manage to get their cars out on the track. Let's have a look at the start of the race. Peter Bacchus is in pole position. To the left of him is Mikko Korkiakoski, and we're going green, and Mikko Korkiakoski has a great start, famous for it. Takes P1 just before turn 1, so no incidents in the back either. Santiago Carao holds on to his third position, but Sten-Mikkel Olsen is very, very close. Has a better drive out of turn 2, it seems. Around the outside will not work yet with these cold brakes, cold tires. This is a start from a bit further back. Florian Kutz started all the way in the back and he's now up to P10 already. See Michal Klisch, Alex Fennell, small tap, and then Florian Kutz can take the position, so P8 already. And looking at that position from Alex Fennell, who goes a bit wide, just behind his teammate Alex Scott. You see in front now, side by side into the fast left-hander, very tricky on cold brakes and cold tires. A lot of respect here between these two drivers. Florian Kutz will have to wait for another opportunity to pass Alex Fennell for P7. Further in the back, Romain Joubert was in a small incident. He's now last position behind Fabio Bartolai, Sandro Donadel. Let's have a look. He has a better drive out of the chicane, very tricky corner as well. Maglio Liguori is involved here as well, so a battle of the 4.58s, 4.458s next to each other. Maglio Liguori now goes to last position, but he has a great view of this ongoing battle still in lap 1. Let's see what happens here down the main straight. Romain Joubert qualified in front of these guys, so he might have some pace on them, but it will be very difficult. So Sando backing out of it already on the straight. Very tricky braking zone and corner for Maglio Liguori, but he keeps it on track. So now it's Romain Joubert already looking at P11 from Sandro Donadel, and he takes that position as well. So these guys clearly think they can better let him through than to defend their position. But now the battle rages on between the Italians here in the Ferraris. Sando keeps close, and Tony Ukic has made it into 5th position. In front we see Sten-Mikkel Olsen and Miguel Santiago Carao, and the two leaders, Nico and Peter, have a small gap to them. Tony Ukic's car looks very stable around here. So can you have a look at Sten-Mikkel Olsen into the chicane? Right-left combination, he's at the inside, so he should be able to make it. They touch, but a small tap, which well, should be allowed here. So Tony Ukic to P4. His teammate is in P2, so there we see Santiago Carao spinning off on the grass here. So everyone moves up a place. Florian Kutz now into P7. Still hasn't made it around Alex Fennell or any of the Mercedes guys. But this train of cars is very close to each other. Now back to the front. Peter Bacchus lost his first position on the first lap. but he's not giving up that easily. So this is already lap 3 or 4, and Peter has a look but has to go straight through the gravel trap, so he will have to wait for another time. And Sten is not letting Tony Ukic run away with his 3rd position, which he inherited from Santiago Carao. Tony will have to work for his position, and Alex Scott is right up their tail. Florian Kutz also to P6 now already, so Alex Funnel clearly had some kind of problem, fell back to P8, to P7, sorry. And let's see what happens here. Can Sten make a move and take P3, or oh wait, Scott has to take avoiding action. Tony Ukic also goes wide onto turn 1, just like Santiago Carao. So everyone moves up another place. This puts Sten Mikkel Olsen into 3rd position with his teammate in 1st. That's not a bad result for these guys. Tony Ukic, after his off, fell back to 6th, and he's now going wide in the last turn and wrecks the car, so that's it for Tony Ukic. Unfortunately, has to retire from the race, and Sten Mikkel Olsen we also lose in a spin here into turn 3, unfortunately. But the battle here in the front rages on. Peter Bacchus and Mikko Korkiakowski. Oh, and Peter has to lift off just a little bit because Mikko was not that fast out of the corner. Peter Bacchus clearly is faster than Mikko Korkiakowski. However, we have to take into account that Mikko is carrying 65 kilos of success ballast. So it's a very tough race for him. Now Peter is just a little bit quicker here, but he can't really goes for it. He brakes late, but Mikko plays it smart and takes a cutback. Keeps his 1st position, so that will be a battle to watch. Alex Scott now in P3 with Florian Kutz right behind him. And this will be a battle that will rage on for the whole 1st stint. Now let's see how that plays out. No move at the moment. And here we see Alex Scott going a bit wide just before the pit stops. So Florian Kutz takes the position. They're still very close to each other though, so this will be very crucial here for Alex and Florian to have good pit stops. Meanwhile, Michal Klisch further back is now behind Dubravko Brezanjic after his 1st lap small incident. And also Dubravko feels the pressure from Michal. Dubravko is in the AM Cup and he lets him through. So Michal Klisch P7, and Alex Scott is the first one of the drivers to pit after his off and position loss to Florian, so he wants to do the undercut. And also Mikko Korkiakowski comes into the pits, and he does that after Peter Bacchus. Peter Bacchus didn't change tires, and Mikko will come out of the pits 15 seconds behind. Now we fast forward to the end of the race. Mikko catches Peter Bacchus at 1.5 seconds per lap, and in the last 3 laps he is closer than ever, so Peter Bacchus going for the risky strategy. And well, track position is very important on this track, so it might be a good strategy, but we know Mikko is very fast and he will take every tiny opportunity he gets from Peter, so on his worn tires Peter cannot make any mistakes or he will lose that 1st position and his 1st win in URL-GT3. Can Mikko make a move here on the main straight? Better run, it's a bit faster, can take some toe from Peter, but the inside line here, Mikko goes for it, but he brakes a bit too late and has to go on the gravel to not take Peter Baucus out. So this is 3 laps from the end. And also Michal Klisch now in P7. He passed Dubravko in the first stint. It's right behind Alex Funnell and he makes a mistake. Michal Klisch goes up to P6. Still have some laps to go. So Alex Funnell can have some opportunities to pass Michal if they stay this close. A couple of laps later, Michal Klisch into the right-left combination. He makes a mistake, goes off the track into the barriers, and Alex Funnell inherits P6 again from him. Now, last lap, Peter Baucus is still in front of Mikko Korkiakowski. And onto the main straight. This is how they will finish the race, 7/100ths of a second apart from each other. Very close finish, but Peter Baucus, takes the win. This is also in the last lap. Alex Scott and Florian Kutz. So Alex got out in front after his mistake in the first stint. Florian Kutz stayed close to him the whole second stint, and this is how they will finish. It's very similar to P1 and 2, but Alex Scott will take the 3rd podium spot. They will finish 1/10 apart from each other. These are the end results. Peter Baucus, Mikko Korkiakowski, Alex Scott, Florian Kutz in 4th, and then Rohan Joubert, who had a lonely race. He was 46 seconds behind the leader, and well, after his off in the first lap from last position, making it into 5th, very nice race for him, but pretty uneventful. Then Alex Funnell and Michal Klisch, as we saw. Dubravko Brezanjic in 8th, Fabio Bartolai. Then Sando Donadel making up the top 10, Manuel Liguori. And then Sten Mikkel Olsen, Tony Ukic, and Miguel Santiago Carao, who all failed to finish the race after incidents. So, we hope to see you next week on the track or watching this recap video at Thruxton for the GT3 round 6. Thank you for watching and see you next week.